Hello, everybody. You are tuned to The Art of Fighting. This is my co-host, Stephen Venom Page. I'm Eric Tillotson, and you are tuned to The Art of Fighting podcast. Starting out the show today, we got an awesome show for you, and we're actually going to cover quite a bit of topics. To start out, what do you got for us, Stephen? What's on the menu today?
Well, first off, people, please support this channel. Please support it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that bell icon so that you can get notifications when a new episode comes out. But on the agenda today, Mr. Eric Tillotson,
yes, sir.
We are going to be talking about martial arts and the rise of popularity, at least in the last little while, especially since we've been in it.
Yeah. I mean, it's grown by leaps and bounds.
Yes.
I mean, we've talked, even just when we talk about the art of fighting, we talk about, the competition.
Yeah.
I mean, it's come farther in the last 20 years than it has the last 2,000 years.
Yeah.
And
it's amazing.
I mean, a lot of it has to do with the evolution of the UFC.
Yeah. And MMA.
And bringing MMA in.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it really... That's where it started. It started with, the UFC, UFC 100. Who is this guy in a karate uniform? Is that
UFC?
Thought,
UFC 1. Yeah,
Royce Gracie.
Yeah, UFC 1.
Who is this guy? I mean,
and he was the smallest guy out of all these heavyweight fighters.
Yeah.
I mean, there was even a sumo wrestler.
Yeah, and he was picked by his family because he was the smallest guy. They wanted to say, "Look, this is the smallest guy with this art." And he's going to do this to all these people who are supposedly the baddest of the bad in their respective martial art, in their sport,
in their style,
yeah. And that's what it really was at first.
Style versus style.
Yeah, style versus style.
The old like blood sport.
Yeah,
the old blood sport.
Yeah.
Hey, this guy's Taekwondo. We're going to put him against Kung Fu.
Yeah, or
Muay Thai.
Yeah, and there were some that I didn't even know exist, like Savate versus some martial art you never even heard of.
Yeah, like Savate. Like not a lot of people know what Savate was. So,
and not to be confused with Salat.
Yeah, Salat, which is another martial art. So, I have to say yes. UFC is probably the number one.
Yeah.
Number two, I would have to say is movies. Like I was talking about, like Bloodsport.
Yeah,
then you
movies, definitely.
Kickboxer.
Yeah.
With Jean-Claude Van Damme. Then even like more the newer modern movies.
Yeah.
Like you see John Wick. And John Wick has like a lot of actual like Keanu Reeves actually uses a lot of like sambo and judo and jiu-jitsu.
Well, let's even go back farther.
Oh yeah, yes.
Bruce Lee used an arm bar in Enter the Dragon, didn't he? I mean,
he used like a weird crucifix.
Yeah,
arm
it was
bar.
kind of it kind of wasn't complete. He didn't hold the body down, but he was locking the shoulder and locking the elbow.
Yeah. It was a weird crucifix arm lock.
Yeah, it was weird.
But they were, in the crazy thing is they were wearing in that opening scene, they were wearing fingerless gloves.
Yeah, they were
like the modern MMA fighter wears.
Right.
So it was like, well, everybody says, and there's been multiple documentaries on Bruce Lee, and they call him the godfather of mixed martial arts.
Yeah, I mean, because let's face it, the word. Like, he had a system called Jeet Kune Do, which meant the art of
the intercepting fist, the way of the
intercepting fist, but it was a styleless style.
Yes,
it was
evolutionary.
It was an evolution, and really, let's say what it was. It was mixed martial arts.
Yes,
it was MMA.
Yeah, because there was ground fighting, there was there's submission locks. Like it was MMA.
It was MMA. So people didn't really, have a name for it.
Yeah.
But
and then there was then also the other thing that's been pretty popular now.
Yeah.
Is especially modern stuff is self-defense, like with Krav Maga, and even the thing is though is I've been listening to a lot of these guys on these YouTube channels talking about how mixed martial arts is sometimes more realistic, and then because you go in there and you spar and you fight against somebody who's trying to do as much damage to you as they are them, as is other self-defense styles.
Starts and aisles.
Yeah. And then, the other thing is, and I'll tell you this much, one thing I've found a consensus of in my gym, and everybody, and you're one of my fighters, you're one of my pro fighters, and you know this, and And we've seen it, especially growing up together in the martial arts, is the image.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to be. That's why it's so popular. I want to be a mixed martial artist. I want to have the physique. I want to have the fitness, but I want to be known as a mixed martial artist.
Right. I mean, and that's important too. And I think it's kind of crazy, but a lot of guys, when they transition out of competition, it's kind of hard for them to keep that identity, because they want to be, they still want to have their toe in the water, they still want to be involved in it, and then
big person, BJ Penn, look at his identity, it's not doing well.
No.
And that's our personal opinion, we're no experts, but
I mean, just look at his record
recently
compared to what he was what has happened. And I mean, I'm a huge BJ Penn fan. Don't get me wrong. I love BJ Penn. He's a legend of the sport.
Love BJ.
I mean, there's going to be a wing in the UFC Hall of Fame just for BJ.
Yes,
but he's on like a 7-fight losing streak.
But it's again that image of you want to keep your foot in the door.
Yeah.
But sometimes, and you know this, because you've retired.
Yep.
Temporarily. Out of mixed martial arts, but
MMA,
but you know that there's a point in time you have to take yourself out of that image.
You do.
I had to early,
so
now I'm coming back.
So what are you left with? And that's kind of what we can talk about now. And that'll transition into like just everyday life, because we're going to talk about families, parents, kids, things like that. But why is MMA so? Why is it so popular? Why is it so important to have that image?
Honestly, I'll tell you this much.
Is it ego?
It's ego. Okay. But also the other thing is you get these guys who come into a gym, and I've had this in my gym. Yeah. And you've seen it, where guys will come in. Yeah. And they have this tough guy, and they want to be the tough guy of the town or the area. Yeah. Me personally, I don't want that guy.
Right.
Because he's going to go out and pick a fight with somebody, and then it's back on me because I train him. I want the guy that's driven. But the other thing is you remember how it was back when back in the 1920s, and you've studied your history on martial arts, back in the 1920s all the way to the 1960s, even in the 1990s, we had fighters in boxing, like Muhammad Ali, Jack Dempsey, Sugar Rashad, Leonard, and all those guys. You had to be the super high-level athlete in order to perform. Yeah. But the thing is cool about this image is it's mixed martial arts, and I realize this is for everybody.
It is. It really is. It's for
the young guy, the young kid, to even the older gentleman or older woman that wants to just be in fitness, have a little bit of shape, because mixed martial arts puts you in shape.
Yeah, it does. And one thing I notice, and as I've watched children, I've watched teenagers and adults. Yeah. It's great for people that aren't traditionally into the stick and ball sport or the football, baseball, basketball.
Not me.
The team sport.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm not that way.
I mean, and a lot of people, martial arts has developed a lot of people that are non-athletes, and it's kind of turned them into athletes. People that typically would not go participate in a team sport, like even as a youngster. Yes. And especially when you're older, because when you're older, you can't play football.
No,
it's
your body can't
take it.
No.
You can go play on a softball league. Yeah, you can play on some beer league. But, but as far as like competing, and we have a lot of friends too that are in their 30s and 40s and even in their 50s that compete, and they train for that competition.
Yes.
And it gives them something. It gives them a goal. It gives them something to work forward to. But it not only gives them something to do, but they're actually developing a skill that
an essential skill.
An essential skill.
The whole self-defense situation.
The self-defense, part of it. But not only that, they're developing their bodies. They're physically they're putting themselves in shape.
Yeah.
They're prolonging their health in their life.
Yeah. The other thing is the mental.
Yeah.
Being especially with and we'll get into this, is with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Judo and these calculative sports and styles where you have to. It's a lot of critical thinking and a lot of
at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment. It's a lot of solving problems.
Yes.
And so and we'll kind of get into that a little bit. But
so you're saying it's like human chess.
It is human chess.
There you go.
Like Hickson Gracie used to say, human chess. I'm not tapping him up. I'm checkmating him.
Yeah.
My thing is it's not only developing the body, it's also developing the mind.
Yeah.
So it's kind of.
By the way, if you want to see a really good documentary movie, go check it out. It's on YouTube, Netflix, whatever. It's called Choke. Just thinking, choke.
Yeah.
It's a documentary about Rickson Gracie, and it's about him getting ready for these early mixed martial arts fights in Japan. But it talks about the lifestyle and really being into the lifestyle of. Now, it's kind of an extreme portion of the lifestyle because at the time he is a professional fighter,
a high level
professional, like the best in the world.
Yeah,
the best in the world.
One.
And you're going to probably say, if you're not familiar with it, well, who is Rickson Gracie? Well, Rickson Gracie, we missed out on that window, and it's too bad because, he. At the time, he's a legend. At the time, the top-ranked boxers in the world were getting $1 million to fight. Mike Tyson was getting over $1 million to fight. Yeah. Rickson Gracie said, well, UFC, if he's the best boxer in the world, I feel like I'm the best MMA fighter in the world. I want $1 million to fight. They couldn't afford that. The sport
Not at that time.
Not at that time. Now, if he was at his peak right now, the UFC would be able to accommodate that, no problem. But, he's in his 60s now, and that's just not possible.
No, it's not possible.
Or his late 50s. Sorry, Rickson. Whatever age you are.
Yeah.
But,
no disrespect. Please don't be nervous.
We're just fans, okay? But,
But yeah, in talking about that with Rickson, with the popularity. Is the sports, like in each individual martial art, and why martial arts is so popular, but not only why it's popular, but what is popular.
Yeah, but think about this. What has MMA done, not only for itself, but what has it done for karate?
Amazing.
What has it done for the Olympics?
Oh, amazing.
I mean, just the progression of fighting itself, the art of fighting has helped itself in all the martial arts.
Go on the landslide.
And I want to say, I'm going to go out on a limb right now and say, you know what? Boxing didn't do it. I'm a huge boxing fan. You know that.
Yes.
People that know me know that. But I would say with the evolution of MMA itself, with the UFC and all the organizations that surround it, that encompass it, even the regional, have pushed all the other martial arts ahead to the table. Martial arts are more popular now than they've ever been. Even martial arts used to be extremely popular in the 70s.
Yes.
Like karate, kung fu, taekwondo, the tang sudo, all those type of but when the grappling arts got involved, and the mixed fighting, and I don't want to say mixed martial arts, but mixed rules fighting.
The no holds barred, the Valley 2
Yes, NHB they called it.
Yeah,
no holds barred.
But it just went on a landslide. Okay, how can I go up?
Yep.
Because that's the thing is you got to think about it like that. And the other thing is I also want you to. The other thing is how crazy that it's evolved. It's amazing.
Yeah, in the last since 1993 till now, it's just incredible. I mean, when
26 years.
Yeah, when mixed martial arts started out, it was on. It was kind of a blood sport. It was we had a senator calling it a human cockfighting.
Yes.
Now it's on the biggest. Now
biggest network.
Now it's owned by Disney. It is. It's owned by Disney.
Yeah.
The biggest sports channel in the world is ESPN.
Yes.
ESPN is owned by Disney. Therefore, Disney is in business with mixed martial arts.
Dun, dun.
Yeah, I mean, it's business with mixed martial arts. The second largest is Bellator as far as organizations go.
Yep.
That's owned by a huge...
Viacom.
By Viacom. Yeah. Movies, entertainment, family entertainment. I mean,
I agree.
It's here to stay, and it's gonna keep getting bigger.
And it's going to keep getting better.
It is, and it'll keep getting better, but not only the MMA portion, but
the sports around it.
The karate, the taekwondo, and then you're going to start seeing families instead of their kids playing football, baseball, basketball, they're going to get athletes, kids that are natural athletes, instead of playing football, because football's fighting to keep its
identity,
to stay there, and its identity because of the CTE issue. What is CTE issue? Basically, it's brain damage.
It's a TBI, traumatic brain injuries.
Traumatic brain injuries.
Yeah.
Traumatic brain injuries equal a lot of problems.
So
and that's something we're going to get into later.
Later
in big time.
Yeah. So the other thing is what's your opinion? In your opinion, what are the top 3 popular, in your opinion, top 3 popular martial arts that people put either kids into or people go into?
I would say probably as far as families and things like that go, I'd say number 1 would probably be Taekwondo or karate.
Yeah.
Just because...
Yes. Or kickboxing.
Yeah. But because that's all they know.
Yeah, because everybody thinks, because you don't want to watch movies. Karate Kid.
Right.
Stuff like that.
I don't think, when people watch the UFC, because they don't know the difference between, if you say, I want to get my kid into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they may think that's what they saw in the UFC.
Yes.
And they don't want their kids involved in that hard contact sports.
Yeah.
So I would say transitioning into, hopefully, because, and I say Taekwondo, karate, because it's more of a traditional martial art, and it's known by people that are parents now.
Yeah.
The 30s and 40s, people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, they've known that from movies and from just. And
it's all about. It was it's all about protecting yourself and all that stuff. And I want my kid to do that, and we're going to get into that here a little bit later. But
as I know it and as I see it, I mean, jiu-jitsu.
It's huge.
Grappling.
I say that's huge. Yeah, it's huge. That, and then also you have the other thing is the you have the, what's the word, not only Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu but wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling. So and that goes to the, and that can be enjoyed on a school level.
Yes.
By youngsters.
Well, dude, it's crazy. When I started wrestling, I had to be in the 5th grade, which is 10, 11 years old, to start wrestling. I have kids that are in preschool that I train that do wrestling now.
Yeah.
And just think about that kid. Now just imagine that kid starting at preschool. Mm-hmm. By the time he's in high school, a senior in high school, he's probably going to not only be a 4-time state champ, but he's going to be a phenomenal athlete. Mm-hmm. He's probably going to go collegiate. But the thing is about what I love about with MMA, like you're talking about MMA,
he's going to be in shape.
He's going to be in shape. But with MMA, you got to think about, okay, as a wrestler, okay, if you do go into college, after college, what's the next level up?
If you don't get a college scholarship and you wrestle all through junior high and high school, you don't have anything left unless you are savvy enough to say, I'm going to go into jiu-jitsu, or I'm going to go into MMA, or I'm going to do some boxing or kickboxing because I already know how to ground fight.
Yeah. But like you said, though, most of the time, but the thing is after collegiate, you only have one option, and that's Olympics. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Olympics, and I can speak for this directly because I was trying out for the Olympics. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get into, especially in combat sports.
Hard to get into.
So, this wrestler, the wrestler, or even somebody who's a BJJ fighter, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter, they can, after high school, if they can't get a college degree or a college scholarship, like you're saying, they translate. Most of them, look what happened with Brock Jardine, Ramsey Nugent, all those guys. They went right into MMA
but that's all there was available for them.
Yeah, exactly. Because they were in college wrestling, but that was, once they were done with that, they knew that was it.
I mean, and let's face it, as far as getting into the Olympics, you gotta know somebody. You gotta be going to every camp. You gotta be showing up in every tournament. And
if you're defeating the best of the best.
If you're gonna make that.
Yeah.
So.
And not only that, you have to go to the Olympic trials at least the 4 year prior, like the Olympic prior, and do really good.
Yeah. Because if you don't, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna. Yeah, and they're not
gonna invest in you.
No, they're not gonna invest in you. So where do you go? MMA.
So, and then what? I would say this: the third popular one is mixed martial arts.
Okay.
Just as a whole, because the reason why is I say as a whole, not really in the sense of seeing UFC, but when I talk to a lot of parents at my gym, I say they should learn mixed martial arts. Well, why? Well, they should learn how to stand up and protect themselves if somebody's punching or kicking at them.
Sure.
But they also need to learn how to ground fight. Mm-hmm. So what is that? Mixed martial arts. Mm-hmm. They need to learn both. So they need to learn how to defend takedowns.
We are teaching our youth. And
the next generation.
Yeah, MMA. And they're going to grow up with it just like they Just like, I grew up learning how to throw a baseball. I grew up learning how to play football. I grew up learning how to,
They're going to learn how to
shoot
throw
a basketball.
They're going to learn how to throw a punch.
And
a takedown.
And it's still good to keep them in the regular sports because we have a lot of kids, and we know a lot of kids that are still involved in football, basketball, baseball, and they love those sports.
Soccer. Some of my best. I have this one girl who's a soccer player. Who just got out of high school a few years ago, and she's someone that she kicks is one of the hardest kickers.
But there you go.
Jose Aldo was a professional football
soccer player.
Soccer,
yeah,
football, and other areas of the world.
I hated that they call it that.
Yeah, you're a football player. That's the thing is that
But it translates.
It translates.
Soccer. The cardio it takes to play soccer is a cardio that's going to help you do MMA. The cardio that does MMA is going to help you better your soccer game.
Yeah. So now, the other thing is family. Now, in your personal opinion,
sure.
Why do you think families want to do martial arts? Like, it doesn't matter if it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, Taekwondo. Like, I've seen a lot of.
Why do they want to do it together?
Yeah.
Well, it's an activity to do as a family.
Yeah.
First of all, it's an activity to do as a family. It can be as something as if a family went on a bike ride every day, don't you think the family's going to stay healthy?
Yes.
I mean, so here we go. Our whole family is in, and we see it.
Yeah.
Dad, mom, and it's crazy because mom and dad end up competing.
Yes.
But it drives you. It gives you fire. It gives you goals to and we just talked about that today. I mean, I'm 51 years old and I still have a desire to compete. I can't compete on that MMA level, but I can still do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I can still compete with other men my same age, my same weight that have those goals too.
Yeah.
Just like a 13-year-old kid can.
Yeah.
Or just like, a youngster can that plays sports after school.
Yeah, 7-year-old.
Yeah,
7-year-old
absolutely.
Youngster. So, I agree. I have actually a family. I just had a family come into my gym. And it was 2 boys and a mom and a dad. And one of the boys we're still working with, but the other 3, they're loving it. And the mom and dad actually enjoy it more than the kids. It's crazy.
I've seen it.
But the thing is, that will push those kids to like it more too.
So when I was in my late 30s,
yes,
I took my kids to traditional martial arts. Mm-hmm. And they kind of got to a point where they got a little bit bored with it. So I said, okay, hey, let's do boxing. Let's do jiu-jitsu. Let's evolve into something a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
That's what got me. I had my kids in it. That's what got me into doing it.
Okay.
So that got
it works both ways.
And some of us are a little more, more into it than others. But I wanted to. I felt that it had that competitive drive. It gave me that competitive drive that I love.
And you desire.
Yeah, that I desire. And it helps me set goals. It helps me to push myself. As not only a person, but that athlete inside that wants to continue to compete.
Yeah, and later on the channel and on a future episode, we will actually get into how to properly set goals for not only martial arts, but lifestyle and fitness and health and all that. Can't really speak for myself in fitness right now because I'm working off an injury, but
well, you had a major shoulder injury, and those things take time. But
you're going to see that. But you guys will see me physically transforming back to into my fight shape. Yeah. And you guys will see that on the fight channel, and it will be part of it, because that's one of my goals.
And we want to help you guys do the same thing, too, is set goals. And we are really bouncing that screen.
Yeah, we are.
Forgive us. Like we said when we started, this will get better as we go along, because we want it.
We got a better audio system now.
Yeah, we do. We have a better audio system.
It'll get better.
Yeah, that's a fantastic microphone, by the way, and I hope you guys are enjoying listening to this.
And hearing better.
These are some things that we want you to be able to take into your families. Families, parents, setting goals, sharing these things with your loved ones. With your friends too, and your family. So now, why? Okay, my question. Now, the next question that we've talked about with this episode is why parents want to put kids in martial arts, like directly reasons. Well,
besides being like you're saying, being an athlete.
I think the biggest thing is discipline.
Self-discipline.
Teaching kids.
I will tell you this straight up, parents. Do not bring your kids into my gym thinking I'm going to discipline them for you. Yeah. That's not my job. That's your job as a parent. My job is to teach them self-discipline. discipline.
You know, a long time ago, Charles Barkley said, you know, I'm not a role model. You should be the role model, and that's true. So, parents, in doing that, need to know and understand that the coach is not going to parent the child.
No.
He's not going to parent the child, but he's going to teach that child some discipline. He's going to teach that child some essential things that he needs in his life.
Oh yeah, definitely. My biggest thing, you know why I got into martial arts?
What's that?
Bullying. That's a big thing I've noticed. Anti-bullying, stopping.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you this much.
Talk about that. Talk about bullying. What's up with that? I mean, what's going on with bullying? Because that's something that I think everybody in their life has probably faced a little bit of it.
Kind of adversity in their life.
Yeah, adversity, and it could be from somebody wanting to pick a fight with you after school to
even cyberbullying.
Yeah,
especially
and that's
now.
huge.
That's huge right now. And I'll tell you, martial arts can't really help a lot with that, but it can help in certain aspects, and we'll get into that. With me, I'll say this much: bullying. Mine was more physical, obviously. I grew up in the 90s and early 2000s, so mine was more physical. And I also was bullied by my older brother. But, you know, that's part of being brothers and family and all that stuff. But you know what? People saw my brother doing it, and they figured they could do it too, and get away with it. Yeah. My mom said, no, you stick up with yourself. So she showed me, you know, that's when she got me into karate and started me doing karate moves and started teaching me, you know, all this background and kickboxing stuff, you know, her background. And you know what? The thing is, though, is honestly, I didn't want to, I got beat up a couple times pretty bad. Mm-hmm. And I just decided, you know what? Mentally I said, I've had it. I'm done. And then that's when I started fighting for myself, because I knew that if I kept getting pushed around, that it was going to put me down a wrong road. And the problem is with modern day now is people are already going to that extreme down that road, and it's hard, and it's a touchy subject, and we will get into that subject.
Yeah. When you're talking about they're going down that road, are you talking about where, you know, like the kids in, say, from the start, like the kids in Columbine, they got bullied, and it's like they started. Well, we're starting to see mass shootings. We're starting to see mass violence because of being an outsider or an outcast in a group or a group setting or a community.
Yeah. Well, I was considered an outcast because of my family, you know, because of my mom and that, like, and I hated it. Mm-hmm. But you know what? Nowadays, I realize it made me stronger. Yeah. And it made me more driven and stuff like that. But yes, not only the mass violence, but also the big one is suicide. Yeah. It pushes a lot of kids to suicide. And the suicide rate is through the roof.
And martial arts can help combat that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it helped me. So with that, I mean, like with me personally, like I've had suicide attempts, you know, and I'll tell you this much: martial arts helped me a lot because I have PTSD and I have really bad PTSD, and my therapy
you get anxiety.
Oh, you've seen it.
Yeah,
you've seen it.
You get anxiety, and what takes you out of that is
martial arts.
It's martial arts.
It's problem solving. It gets my mind off that and gets me on something else.
So you're not only using your mind, but you're using your body as a physical tool.
Yes,
they work together, and then in turn working together. So it's almost like you're self-counseling.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And of course, what we're saying is not professional advice.
Yeah, exactly.
This is from personal experience. But what you're saying is you've taken it almost as self-counseling. So you've helped it, or it's helped you to pull yourself out of despair, out of having those type of injuring thoughts to yourself, and set goals and physically get in shape. Yeah. And when you physically feel better, you not only feel better, when you look better, you have a better it gives you a better self-image, and you're not so self-conscious about your body, about your mind, and it helps you. So it's going to help you to grow. So that's what I would say. If this is something that maybe you're struggling with, or you have family members that are struggling with, try martial arts. Try something. Yeah, dip your toe in that water and
at least
give it a
go
chance.
and try and give it a chance.
Yeah, give it a chance. And if you don't know where to go, then hit us up.
Yeah.
Message us. We will lead you to the people that can help you with those things.
Exactly. So. And you know what? A bit in a future episode, talking about that is not only. Another thing is not only suicide, but drug use and alcohol abuse.
Yeah.
And one person we know really, really well that had that same problem, and martial arts pulled him out, was Court McGee, the UFC fighter. Yeah. And it's the same thing. You know, he went down a dark path, and martial arts was able to pull him out.
And he hasn't forgot that. He hasn't forgot. He still he's basically on the front lines of combating
opiate abuse.
Opiate abuse, drug use. Alcoholism.
Yeah, his sobriety is more important to him than fighting.
Yeah, I mean, because if he's not sober, he's not at his best.
He's not at his best.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Another thing I see is stopping passivity or being passive aggressive.
Right.
Because
how do you do that?
Get a kid in their gym and let them realize they can punch something and not get in trouble.
Right.
You know, they and not have to worry about them being the bad guy. Yeah. You know, they
not injuring somebody or themselves.
Right. But you get these kids who are so passive that they become a so-called pushover.
They get to the point where they snap, right?
And then they snap, and then certain things either happen to themselves or to others.
Yeah.
So stopping it at an early age will make them more things, and we're going to talk about more of the things. Another thing is building friendships.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you this, in the digital age, it is where you get on your device, and I say, "Hey, Eric, can you please, hey, let's hang out," or "Hey, what are you doing?" And never, instead of how we grew up, where it was like, I'd call you on the phone and I'd say, "Hey," on the old dial phone, and say, "Hey, Eric, let's go hang out."
Or I'd have to go over to your house, go where you're at, and say, "Hey, do you want to go do this? You want to go play basketball? You want to go wrestle? Whatever."
Or like we'd meet up at the gym and, "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?"
I mean, we're getting to the point now where people.
And we're going to get into that a little bit more.
They're in different rooms of the house, and they use their device to eat,
to talk.
And I don't know that's
not healthy.
I don't think it's healthy. I mean, it's convenient.
Yeah,
it's very convenient, but it's
not healthy.
Getting back to some of the what I would say is old school principles, I think it's very important because we're losing communication. We're losing those things, those basic. What I would call basic
social skills
and basic family values.
Yes.
That, if we lose those things, it can be very detrimental.
I agree.
It can be very detrimental, and we don't want to lose those things. No. So,
and then talking about that, not only building friendships, but getting away from these. Kids use these more than they use anything else.
Yeah, they do. They do.
And getting away from that, getting kids, and again, getting in shape. Obesity is through the roof in young kids, and getting them out, getting them active, playing sports. It doesn't, and we're not talking about just doing martial arts. Martial arts is a great way to get kids active, but getting them out, play football, play basketball. You know what my favorite toy was when I was growing up? Dirt.
Yeah,
dirt was my favorite toy.
Yeah,
because I'd go out there with my Tonka truck and I'd play with dirt in the backyard in a sandbox.
And it's just not like that these days. So kids need something to occupy their mind and their body, and martial arts is a perfect way to do that.
It is.
It's a perfect way to do it.
Mental and physical.
It unlocks something in their mind and in their body that they never would have got if they hadn't done this.
Yeah. So. And then the other thing is another thing, and talking about that is that social skills, building self-confidence or individual confidence. Because I'll tell you this much. When I was in high school, even though I had a little bit of confidence, I didn't really date girls. I was very timid around them. When I was able to go into a gym when I was in the military, and obviously I had a military training with what I did, where I had to be social. But after I went in and I rolled around with girls, in the gym and just hanged out with these females, and they would kick my butt just as more than I would kick theirs.
And when you say rolling around, you're talking about grappling and wrestling, sport wrestling.
Sport wrestling with them and training and kickboxing with them. It gave me the confidence to talk to them.
Yeah,
and it's only that, but it just things like that to build your confidence as a person. Doesn't matter if you're a male, female, whatever. Any of those pronouns you want to be known for.
Sure.
It helps you build self-confidence
Yes,
and
it does.
individual confidence
Yeah.
in yourself. And with that, also self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't have good self-esteem,
Yeah, you're going to have a hard time.
Yeah.
You're going to have a hard time setting goals.
Yeah,
You're going to have a hard time setting goals and accomplishing them.
And having the confidence to set them,
Yeah.
to accomplish them, and to see them through.
Yeah, and make them meaningful.
Yeah, exactly. So
very good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, again, ladies and gentlemen, so we're wrapping it up here. This is
It's a good episode.
Great episode, great
Good episode.
topics.
Something different.
Some difference.
Something different that is along that goes along with the art of fighting.
It's just the background.
Yeah.
It's not the forefront of I'm gonna fight. No, it's behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's behind it. It's what prepares you to get out and do that. It's all about happiness. It's all about success. It's all about leadership and becoming a good learner.
Yeah, and setting goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, viewers, if you have questions, please comment down below this video. Hit us up. If you have questions about what martial art you think your child will do, we'll give you our personal opinion. Again, we're both professional. He's a professional fighter. I'm a professional fighter. We both have professional, insight, but it's our personal opinion when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
So, again, if you have any questions, please feel free. Contact us. We will be more than willing to help you. We'll be more than willing to contact you guys. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, so with that, we're going to sign off. So, signing off, I'm Stephen Van Page.
I'm Eric Tillotson. Tip your waitresses.